Hey guys, welcome back to the Student Pages podcast. I'm here with my musician, published author. She's popping off on TikTok as well, Savannah Maddison. How's it going, Savannah?
So good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thanks for coming on. It's great to have you. You're American, but you made a TikTok of you getting a spray tan. So symbolically, you're British, I feel like.
Oh my gosh. I do love spray tans. They're pretty good. And a lot of my British friends do get them too. So maybe I match y'all right now. It's good.
Oh, do you have a lot of British friends?
I do actually. It's so random, but I joined a theater company up here in Nashville, and we have a big British, people from the UK too population here. So yeah,
Why is that?
I don't know. I don't know, but I love y'all and listening to your accents are so nice for us. So
Well, you've got a bit of a southern accent, which we don't really hear much. I don't know anyone in the UK. I know one guy from the Ozarks, and he's got a bit of a crazy accent. But other than that, we rarely hear.
crazy.
Well, as
Love
well,
that.
Brits hearing Americans, it's like because you grew up with American culture and everything. Hearing an American, it's like, oh my god, it's like a famous person. Like, oh, and being there is like, oh my god, everyone here's like a celebrity.
That's
Um,
funny. No, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I went on your TikTok earlier. You've got quite a lot of boys in your TikToks. I couldn't work out. They all look quite similar. I couldn't work out which one your boyfriend was, or a lot of them are like, "Oh, this is my friend."
I know. Oh my gosh, everyone's been calling me out for this lately. It's so funny. I guess I just never posted with a lot of friends. I've always made content of myself, and recently have just been doing more content with my friends. I'm really lucky to have a lot of. I guess I do have a lot of guy friends. I don't know if that's that's a good thing but they're all really sweet and they're always down to make TikToks. So I've been kind of taking advantage of that and doing it with them. But yeah, I think I've been posting recently with a lot of guy friends. I definitely have a lot of girl collabs on there too from the last few weeks. But yeah, everyone's been like, "Oh my gosh, Savannah, like which one's your boyfriend? Like I ship you with him. I ship you with him." I'm like, "Y'all calm down. It's all good. We're all friends."
And you're from you're at the moment whereabouts? So I mean, we're probably both in our parents' house, but whereabouts are you at the moment?
I'm from Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay, you're from Nashville.
Yeah.
So I thought there
hmm
was something about you being from. You're kind of like when you were much younger, you were from Fort Lauderdale, right?
Florida. Yep,
Yeah.
in Florida.
And what was it like growing up in those two different places? How is it different growing up in Tennessee to growing up in Fort Lauderdale?
I loved living in both. I grew up most of my life in Fort Lauderdale before getting the chance to move here, and I mean, just different kind of cultures, people, really music type of style and taste, what people like. We have a big Hispanic population in Fort Lauderdale and Miami, kind of South Florida area in general. And I think that influences a lot of the culture. Like they so much good Hispanic food and Latin music. It's so fun to go out and dance and kind of have that as a part of life in Fort Lauderdale. And I visited Nashville for the first time when I was 9 or 10 and kind of just knew that I wanted to live here. I love the, people and the country music that's more focused on in Nashville and kind of the it's more forest and wood and mountains here in Tennessee, where Florida's more beachy and it's flatter. So there's a lot of differences, but I like both for different reasons.
And is it true you grew up like horse riding?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. My sister's really like the professional horseback rider, like equestrian, and so I'm just okay at it. But she's really, really good, honestly.
But you're not too much into horse riding compared to your sister.
She has horses, like it's my sister, you know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
I we'll go sometimes, but she's there like every day. Like it's more her thing. I feel like I can do it. Like I'm down to, and I love animals. Like I will play with the horses all day. But she's like she jumps over things and does like the barrel racing and like English riding. So I feel like I could say I'm good, but I'm definitely not on her level.
Wait, what's English riding?
It's oh yeah, that's funny because you're okay. No. So it's it's like I think that she'd explain it so much better than me. But the difference is in the saddle. So there's Western and there's English. And when you sit on a Western saddle, there's like a horn that you hold on to so that you don't, I guess, fall off the horse. And like it's kind of you can rope and you hold on to the horn for stabilization. And English is a lot prettier and there's no horn. It's just kind of like a flat saddle and so you can do jumping and you like hold on with your legs.
Yeah, so when growing up, when did you decide or when did you start writing songs?
probably when I was around 10, that first Nashville trip really inspired me to start writing music. I've always loved to sing since I was little and would mess around with music, but I was really taught how to do it the Nashville kind of professional writer way in Nashville, Tennessee. So it was when I moved here and kind of, came here for the first time when I was young that I learned how to do it a lot better.
Interesting. Do you feel
Yeah.
like this is something I've just thought of. Do you feel like that kind of influenced your accent a little bit moving to, did you have like a kind of less like southern accent before you moved to Tennessee?
I might have. I don't, do you think I have a Southern accent?
Because I watched the interview of you because you were on Larry King when you were like 11 or 12, right?
Yet.
And I
Hmm.
feel like you had a different accent then. Was that before you
Oh my
moved?
gosh. First of all, I can't believe that you watched that interview. I was so nervous, and he's a really nice dude. He's like so cool, but he was terrifying to me as a 10-year-old. I was so scared to like because he asked such hard questions. So I cannot believe you found that interview. That's crazy. But but yeah, no, I think it might have developed more as I moved here, but and being around my family that has the accents, a lot of my family's from like northern Florida, which is almost Georgia, and that's a more southern state. So yeah,
Okay.
I think I picked up on it a lot more, and y'all, I say y'all now. I've never said y'all before, so yeah,
I've never said
y'all.
you'll.
I've never said y'all
We
before.
say we have our plural you. We say use lot.
Use, yeah, okay, I like that. I
And then
love when y'all say thanks, but you make it like with an F in the front.
when did we do? Oh, what for like thanks?
Thanks, yeah.
Yeah, my brother does that. Thanks. I don't know why some people do that. It's a bit of a London thing that say,
I
oh,
like
thank
it. Yeah.
American, whenever they do the impression of the English accent, they're always like, oh, thank you. Harry Potter. They love to drop
Yes,
the T. Um,
I love it.
do you remember the first song you ever wrote?
Yes, and I think it was called "Do You Believe," and it kind of talked to. I could probably still play it on guitar. Honestly, it just talks about like, do you believe in me and like my dreams and stuff. And I wrote it before moving to Nashville, so it was kind of like a good, pre-forecasting like the future and what I was going to be doing. So that's pretty cool.
What was it? Wait, what was it about?
It
Sorry.
talks about like believing in your dreams and like I was like super young when I wrote as a 10-year old, you know what I mean? But I talked about probably I think it was like do you believe in me and like all of my dreams and like all this. It was cute. It was a cute little song.
Oh, nice. That's
Mhm.
sweet.
Yeah.
And how did that kind of turn into you getting picked up and kind of making music properly?
Yes, it was really a lot of collaborating with other writers that I think took it to the next level, if that makes sense. So I would, try to book rights even though I was super young and that's not often taken seriously in the music industry. If you're, young and trying to do it and work professionally. I really just fought for these really big, good writing sessions with bigger writers that were, really talented, and I learned a lot from them. And it kind of took my writing to the next level, music to the next level. I started working with any producer that would listen to me and just really try to get involved at a young age, and I was able to kind of develop my skills from there and kind of was able to get signed and all that by CAA and finally moved to Nashville, and that helped a lot, being able to be here and be constantly learning. So yeah, it's been a crazy process, and I'm so grateful to live here now and be able to write whenever I want.
And what's the song you said you were working on releasing a song today?
Yes, I'm so excited. So my last release was called "If You Can," and it did. Oh my gosh, we were so overwhelmed by the response from people. It was on Radio Disney, and just it was such an amazing release. And so for a while, I've been trying to find kind of the right song to follow it with, to kind of be the next thing. And so I haven't announced the name of it yet, and it's kind of sassy. It's coming out. We don't have a date set, but we're working on it, and we just kind of finished the production on it, so it's on its way.
And what's it about?
Kind of talks about meeting someone for the first time and you're really excited and just know that you like are not gonna like leave without them. It talks about kind of like meeting someone at an event or a party and just like clicking and saying like there's no way I'm leaving here without you.
Yeah, you're gonna make
Hmm.
TikToks with that person.
Oh, 100%. If someone makes TikToks with you, they're a keeper because that's like that's good.
For sure. That's a big
Hmm.
commitment.
Yeah.
Having, yes, I wanted to ask you about your organization because you're kind of a philanthropist, right? So
Yes.
your organization, Savannah Soldiers, encourages kids to write letters to those serving in the U.S. Army. So where did you get the idea for that?
It actually started around the same time that I started in music and taking that more seriously. So when I was in fifth grade, which for y'all is grade five, is what y'all call it, right?
We call it. Well, I think it would be year five. I think if it's the
Year five.
grades, yeah.
Okay, I was in year five and I had a best friend named Wilson, and her dad was in the military and he ended up deploying um overseas during the fifth grade year. And I wanted to do something to support her family and kind of help them out because I had never seen that process of deployment and what that does, and what it means for a family before. And so we started writing letters to the soldiers underneath her dad and his battalion, and it grew really rapidly. Like you said, I had a big media storm around it. So I was on some huge shows in the US, like the Today Show, Age 10, and Larry King and Fox and Friends, and all this, like these big people wanting to help with my project. So it became an official 501c3, and so we kind of educate on military, appreciating our military. I travel the country and speak to kids, so I've been able to speak for over 1 million kids in our school system since 2012, and its foundation. So it's been really amazing. I came out with a book about it about almost a full year ago now, which is crazy. And it's just been a crazy journey. We've sent 350,000 letters to deployed military from kids and kind of teaching them to appreciate and learn about that.
It's funny because you're 19, right? But this is sort of your life's work almost.
Hmm.
Working on this for so long, and you started when you were what, 11? Something
Yes.
like that?
Yeah.
That's crazy. And when you were doing all of those, when you were doing all those kind of talk show appearances, you said you were really nervous about Larry King. Which one? What was that like doing all of those? And was Larry King the one you were most nervous for?
I would guess yes. I've actually never told anyone this, but before that Larry King show, my mom was so good about like picking out cute clothes for me for I guess I don't know what had happened that week, but I guess in like my at home I was dancing or something and it had like hurt my back. I was like 10 or 11 years old at this point, right? Maybe I was 12. Do you know how old I was during that interview?
I think you were 11.
Okay, I might have been 11. And so my dad took me to get this weird massage called this cupping massage. Have you ever heard of that?
No, I've never heard of that.
Okay, this is such a weird story. I can't believe I'm telling you this. But they put the cups on my back, and basically it's like a little suction cup, and it just like draws to the surface any like I don't know bad things in your back. They said it would help because I had like tweaked my back a little bit while I was like dancing around the house before this interview, and it left these giant black circles, like purple circles, on my back. And so that's why I was wearing that giant jacket during that interview.
No
I was
way.
wearing a big fuzzy jacket. Over this like cute little dress. It just did not go together. So I was already stressed out about that. And then it was Larry King, which is like a big deal. Like he's a legend in the industry. And so yeah, being able to be on a show is a huge honor, but it was scary for sure. He asked some hard questions. I don't know if you remember the Olympics last year or
Yeah.
a couple years ago. Michael Phelps had it done, and everyone was like, "What are those giant circles on his back?" I think is who I remember was like a swimmer, and he had to say like, "Oh, it's just from a massage, like it's a cupping massage." So I guess a lot of people, like athletes, get it done. I don't know why they did it to me as an 11-year-old, but yeah, that's what
You
happened.
feel, you feel like it made a difference?
I don't know, honestly. I don't know if I would try it again because it like leaves those like giant marks unless you're gonna be like not going anywhere for like a week and a half. I don't. You gotta look it up after this. Look up a
Yeah.
cupping massage and you'll see what it is.
Yeah. So how? Sorry, the cups. I'm just seeing the
I know,
cups.
it really just bothers you.
How did your project kind of spread around? How did more and more people find out about this? Because you've sent up like almost 400,000 letters, right, to soldiers.
Yes. Yeah, it was really crazy in the beginning because we were trying to support an original battalion that had about 700 soldiers in it. And just, show them encouragement and tell them that we support them from home. But that was a big number to have to try to send every month, just the soldiers underneath my best friend's dad. So I ended up going to Facebook and kind of kids around me, my youth group, my school, classroom, the classroom next door, and see if I could get their help. and a lot of them were willing to help, which was incredible. And it kind of just spread around our community, spread on Facebook, and eventually we got a call from the Today Show, and that was the first kind of major media outlet that I was on that wasn't like a local news network talking about the project, and they picked it up and it just blew up. We went from being involved in receiving letters in 3 states in the United States to over 40 states, just kind of like people wanting to help out. We got 20,000 emails. It was crazy. So that's what really made it kind of the project that it became. And, we had our curriculums established so we could work in the school systems and all that. And it was crazy in the beginning, super fast.
And do you make money off this at all?
So it's a 501c3. We get sponsorships from companies that come in and they'll support, but the money goes towards the organization. So sending letters and packaging, postage, all that stuff.
Yeah. So what actually during that Larry King interview, you talked about your sponsorships, and you said you were
Yep.
sponsored by the Miami Heat, and Donald Trump's professional golf championships, which is
Oh my
crazy
gosh.
to think about now.
Yes, it's weird. When I was 10, I actually met Donald Trump when I was around that age because I was singing the anthem already for all these sports teams. So I had this dream in music. And so the Heat PGA, which is the golf championships that he owned before he obviously became president. That was just one of his ventures, I guess. And they host it in Florida at his, Trump Hotel and stuff. There's a beautiful golf course, I guess, and that's where they did it. And so yeah, it's pretty crazy that I was working with all these people at such a young age, and I mean, the governor of the state gave us a national day, and it's just like when I think back on it now, I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I wish I appreciated it more at the time when these crazy things were happening to me as a 10-year-old. But I feel like my whole life has just been insane. I always had the weirdest things happen. So yeah,
They gave you a national day.
yes, for Savannah Soldiers Day, November 19th.
Oh, that's crazy. And what
Yeah.
and what was it like meeting Donald Trump? What was he like?
Oh, it was a weird experience. So I sang the national anthem. We had Savannah Soldiers there set up and people, were writing letters. The players were doing events with us and endorsements and stuff for the military we had involved. And then I also sang the national anthem for the championships, so the PGA championships. And I was young. Honestly, I think I was maybe 10 or 11. It was around the time that everything was starting up. And he was walking by in a big group of people. I don't think I've ever told this story. This is crazy. But he was walking by in a big group of people, his like entourage kind of around him. And I had already met his son, and his son was nice and all that. And so I went up to him, just me, little 10-year-old Sav, going up, and I said, "Hey, sir, thank you so much for letting me sing the anthem for your event. Like, so nice to meet you. I'm so glad to be here." He wasn't a candidate or anything like that at that point, so he was just Donald Trump. And so I went to like shake his hand, and I went to give him my. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe I'm telling the story. He patted me on the head. He's like, "You're so sweet, sweetie. Do you want a picture?" Is what he said to me. And so I looked at him and I was like, "No, I want to give you my business card so you can rebook me for future events." And I handed it to him, and he handed it to his assistant. So I don't know. Maybe he has my card laying around somewhere.
You did some networking.
I did with Donald Trump. That's I've never told that. I should tell that story more often.
That's so funny. That's so.
Hmm.
You should definitely tell that story, Mark. That's hilarious. You're like, nope, I don't want a picture. I want to do business with you.
Yes.
Don't patronize me.
Literally.
And we haven't got much time left, but I want to ask you just quickly before I go, before I let you carry on with your day. I want to ask you about your book and just how you went about writing it and what it's all about.
Yes. So it's called Sincerely You, Letter Writing to Change the World. It's been a long writing process. I had the idea to start writing a book when I was around 14, 15, kind of doing all these crazy things, and started writing down kind of things that I would put in it, and that I would want, other people to know and be inspired by parts of my story that were difficult, or the days that I, maybe felt like I couldn't do something or was nervous about speaking at a big event. I talk in the book about how I was booked to speak for a Walmart corporate when I was 14, and how, nerve wracking that was, and just a lot of experiences that I've had throughout my life. Hopefully, given other people and the kids that I work with and speak to all the time in the school systems a good guide for, how I've been successful so far. So each chapter is kind of a different character trait that I've learned throughout my life. So there's kind of creativity, bravery, and then the stories that go around that up until now. So yeah, it was crazy to write. It took a long time, and it's finally out there. It was crazy and very surreal when it was finally released, and it's a whole book. Y'all should check it out. It's called Sincerely You.
Sweet. Savannah, thanks so much for joining me on the podcast today. It was so much fun. I'll let you get on with the rest of your day. And thanks everyone for listening to the Student Pages podcast. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you so much. I'll see you later.
See ya.